The film begins in a facility where biologist Lena, Natalie Portman, talks to men in hazmat suits in a security room, while a crowd of people gather outside to listen. Another man named Lomax, Benedict Wong, questions Lena about a recent mission that only Lena has returned. Lomax said she and her team have been apart for months that felt like days or weeks for Lena. She confirmed that 2 of her teammates had died, but the fate of the other 2 remained unknown. She has no idea what she just went through. We see something rise into space before hitting the surface of the Earth. It collides with the lighthouse and eventually begins to emit a mysterious light. 3 years after this event and shortly before the mission, Lena is a professor at Johns Hopkins University teaching a class about cancer cells that appear to be growing. It's been over a year since her husband Kane, Oscar Isaac, left for her mission and hasn't returned. Her colleague Danielle, David Giasai, invites her to a barbecue at her home, which she hosts with her wife, but she says Lena prefers painting her bedroom. Daniel says spending time with others doesn't belittle Kane's memory, but Lena declines her invitation anyway. Lena is still hurt by Kane's disappearance. However, as she is painting, Kane shows up at her house. Lena hugged him in tears. He has little or no memory of where he was or how he got home. Kane takes a sip of water and says he doesn't feel well. You can tell by the blood in the water. Lena takes him to the hospital in an ambulance, but is stopped by government agents on the way. Sedated and arrested, Reach X Lena wakes up in a complex created by an organization called Southern Reach. She meets her Dr. Ventress, Jennifer Jason Lee, who tells her that Kane was part of an expedition to an off-site location called Shimmer, which has formed around the lighthouse in recent years. Kane appears to be the only one to return from the Shimmer, as his entire team has been reported missing or dead. Kane is in the facility, but he's in critical condition. Ventress will be joined by 3 women named Josie Roddick, Tessa Thompson, a physicist, Kathy Shepard, Tuba Novotny, an anthropologist, and paramedic Anya Torrenson, Gina Rodriguez. Torrenson introduces himself to Lena and invites her to meet with the other team members. Lena has chosen not to let Kane know that he is her husband and that she is personally involved in her mission. The Shimmer team heads into the Shimmer. The land consists mainly of plant organisms. For days later, the team can't seem to remember how they got there. Main devices with GPS don't seem to work there. They dig deeper into the sparkle and document its progress and insights. As they pass a small hut, something pulls Roddick into the hut and nearly drags him into the water until Lena goes inside to save them. They found a mutant alligator emerging from the water. It crawls towards the team until Lena shoots. An examination of the crocodile's mouth next revealed that it had sharp teeth, suggesting that some crossbreeding may have occurred in the Shimmer. Lena has several flashbacks of her time before the mission, including her final moments with Kane before entering Shimmer, and the fling she had with Daniel before signing her mission. It was later suggested that Kane somehow learned of Lena's affair, which may have contributed to his motivation to participate in the supposedly suicidal mission. The team paddles across the lake to their destination. Lena is driving with Shepard when she is questioned by Shepard. Lena tells her that she was in the army and that her husband was killed in action. She never said Kane was her husband. Shepard then tells Lena that she lost her daughter to leukemia, and also reveals other members of the team, including Thorenson being a drug addict and Roddick slitting her arm. Shepard added that no one seems to know much about Ventress other than the fact that he has no friends, family, partner, or children. The team arrives at Fort Nehemiah. This is the military base that was the former home of the Southern Reach before it was swallowed by the Shimmer. Lena notices more mutations at the base, even malignant ones like tumors. They find that Kane and his team also lived at the base during their stay in Shimmer. They found a camera and saw a video of Kane cutting open the abdomen of one of his teammates, revealing some kind of mass sliding around inside his abdomen instead of his internal organs. As the team progresses further, they discover a skeleton that appears to have been destroyed by something inside a person's body, suggesting that this is the man Kane cut into. Their discovery makes the team nervous. At night, Lena examines a cell sample collected with Shimmer and discovers that it undergoes mitosis, but is different from normal cells. She then speaks with Ventress. Ventress suspects that Kane took the mission out of self-destructive desires. She believes that her desire to be human is hardwired into all of her DNA. Lena realized that Kane must have volunteered for this mission when she found out about her relationship with Danielle. Outside, something seems to break through the facility's fence. Lena watches Shepard investigate, but he is then grabbed and taken away by a large bear-like creature. Others are unaware. In the morning, the team sets off through the forest towards the lighthouse. They find Shepard's shoes, and Lena ventures deeper to find Shepard. When she returned, Shepard's mutilated body was lying against a tree. Going further, the team discovered an area outside the house with a plant structure shaped like a human body. Roddick suspects the glow can mess with the DNA of everything, including plants, animals, and humans. They then set up camp for the night inside the house. Later that night, when Lena wakes up, Thorensen puts a gun in front of her face, after which Lena knocks her unconscious. Lena wakes up to find Roddick and Ventress tied to a chair. Thorensen has Lena's locket and realizes Kane is her husband. She becomes paranoid and aggressive, and she also suspects that Lena killed Shepard. At that moment, you hear what sounds like Shepard screaming for help. Thorensen runs to find them, but instead a bear creature, with a skull face, appears and chases the women. That cry is the Shepard's final cry for help. Thorensen runs back and tries to shoot her bear, but the bear attacks her before tearing her throat and jaw out. Roddick frees himself and shoots the bear. Ventress covers Thorensen's corpse. The next day, Ventress goes to find the lighthouse himself. Roddick noticed roots and leaves growing rapidly from his arm. She tells Lena that she realized that Shimmer didn't just distort her gear's DNA and signals, it simply destroyed them. Roddick leaves before Lena finds her, and she disappears. She has probably mutated into her plant structure. Lighthouse Lena then encounters a lighthouse and the land around it. Large crystal trees and skeletons lie on the sand. The lighthouse is covered with a plant-like substance. Lena went inside to find a charred skeleton leaning against the wall and a camera set up. When she watched the video, she saw Kane sitting with a phosphorus grenade and talking to someone off camera. His sense of reality seemed distorted, and I could hear her keep saying she had no idea if she really was Kane or who he was. He asked someone behind the camera to look after Lena before pulling out the grenade pin and self-destructing. A figure behind the camera comes into view, and it turns out to be a clone of Kane who has returned to Lena. Lena makes her way to the lighthouse and finds Ventress with her frown. She tells Lena that the Glimmer are extraterrestrial in origin and are preparing to become extinct. Ventress' body then melts into a bright light FRM and transforms. Drains blood from cuts on her Lena face to create her own humanoid body. Begins to imitate every movement of Lena. Lena hits it, and it hits back to Lena. Lena tries to escape, but the creature grabs her and continues mimicking her. She finds another phosphorus grenade and hands it to the creature. She takes out her needle, and she walks away as it explodes. The creature is burned by fire and begins to transform into Lena. Walk around until the rest of the lighthouse is ablaze. The trees outside have fallen, and the remaining glow begins to fade. Once Lomax's treatment is over, we'll return to Lena's place in the facility. He confirms that the glow is gone, but Lena still doesn't know what happened to her. Lomax tells her that Kane woke up a few hours later after the glow faded, and she became clear. Lena goes to his room to talk to him. They stare at each other for a while, and Lena says, "You're not Kane, are you?" You can see their eyes light up and change color when they hug each other,